Hey everybody, it's Vanessa, the Crafty Gemini. Sorry we're a little late here. We had some technical issues, but welcome to episode number 138 of WIP Wednesday. Let's make sure we have everything working since we did have some issues. So if you can see me and hear me, just let me know in the chat box below. Let me know if you're watching us on Facebook or on the Crafty Gemini YouTube channel and maybe where you're tuning in from. So I'm coming to y'all from my home crafting studio here in North Central Florida, where it's probably going to start raining again because it is summer here in Florida, hurricane season. Apologies, my throat is a little bit off today because y'all know, some of you know, that on Wednesday mornings I call bingo for local senior citizens, and whenever I have to call it bilingual in English and Spanish, I feel like I feel the strain. It's like a little bit extra use of my voice, just saying the numbers in another language. And just additional talking, I guess I have to stuff in there in 2 hours. All right, good. Tracy says, hey, good. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Alicia. We got Jennifer in the house. Hi, Gloria. We got Nancy. Also, Hope from Central North Carolina is on here. Good, good. We got a bunch of y'all on. Sorry, again, apologies that we were late. But I'm so excited to share with y'all that I'm ready to open up, it's already open right now for registration, our latest organizer club. Now, for those of you that maybe are new to me, my teaching style, or my YouTube channel, my video lessons and stuff, way back when, I want to say it was 2018. In 2018, we launched our first organizer club. These are like the video courses that I do where we lump together a number of projects and the video courses get posted to student accounts one by one with all the video lessons, and you basically have unlimited and indefinite access to the video courses. So we've been doing bag clubs, mini bag clubs, quilt clubs, all different types of quilting techniques, sewing with curves and the clammy ruler. We've done foundation paper piecing quilt clubs, beginner quilt clubs, and things like that. And so 2018, we had an organizer club, and it was a huge, huge hit. I think it was our best one that we've done. And I think at this point, we're calling this one our second edition organizer club because it's specifically for organizers, like the one that we did back in 2018. But we've also featured a bunch of bags and pouches over the years in the other bag clubs and mini bag clubs that are kind of similar. You know, they could be used for storage and organization as well. So this would be, I want to say it's maybe like our 13th or 14th online club that we've hosted over the years. So I have been doing this a long time, and I'm super excited for these projects because as I wrote y'all in my email newsletter today, I said that if I'm being honest, I designed these projects more for myself than anybody else, because if you subscribe to my email newsletter, you know that I've been on a huge organization kick this year, organizing everything. My life, my house, my closets, my studio, and so these organizers really are going to help me, and hopefully they'll help you get a little more organized, or if you're already super, super organized, you can obviously make these and give them as gifts or even sell them at craft fairs as well. All right. Windless Original says, I can already see me making so many of those baskets with a divider. So this club, and I'm excited that those of you that are maybe interested in signing up are tuning into this live show, because if you look at a picture of the 5 projects that we're going to be tackling, it's kind of like, okay, I get it. But when I think when I explain why I designed them the way that they are, the techniques that I'm going to show you, the different skills that you're going to learn, how you're going to boost your sewing confidence, how you're going to get better with your sewing skills, how we're going to be using stuff from our stash. You know, I'm the first one to go out and buy more fabric, but I also want to use up the stuff that I have in my stash. So if you have a big stash of number 3 craft zippers, like I do because I buy them in a big bag, fabric scraps, maybe fat quarters, you know, kind of not super small scraps, which can still be used because we can always use our quilting skills and piece them together to make slightly bigger, you know, chunks of fabric for the exteriors of our pouches. But if you have scraps, number 3 zippers, and a variety of different stabilizers and interfacings, keep watching because I think you're going to want to join this club and make these projects alongside us. So let's go ahead. Oh, Windless Original says these previews of the club contents are so helpful. I love it because if you're visual like me, I'm very visual and tactile. I have to touch and make stuff and design as I'm making my prototypes out, and I'll share a little bit more about that as we get into the projects. I think it really helps to see the projects in 3D, right? Me holding them, you can see how they relate in size on my body. I will be giving you the finished measurements for each one of these, okay? They're included obviously in a graphic inside of the club when you join. But let's jump right into them. Go ahead. Let's see. Somebody says, oh, the lighting is very dark, not like it usually is. That's weird. It shows up good over here for me. Not sure. Maybe it's the lighting on their device or something. Yeah, it looks good on there. Okay. So Hi, Zena. She says, made it back in time. Welcome. All right, let's go ahead and give them the over-the-shoulder camera shot because I'm going to start off talking real briefly about how this stuff works and how my clubs work. I know we have a lot of returning students, and I see a fly in here. Annoying. And see, now I lost my train of thought. Hold on. I was saying, I know we have a lot of returning students for my clubs and classes, so you kind of know how it works. You know how to log in. You know how to access all your stuff. I wanted to go over stuff maybe for new students or people that are kind of hanging around, lurkers as we call them on the internet, that maybe are thinking about joining. There is a course calendar, okay? Excuse the old printer. It's almost out of ink. But there's 3 months we're going to span. So we're starting now in July, okay? We're going to go through August and September. We always do a feedback survey at the end of our classes and clubs. And the last clubs, people were saying that they wish we could kind of stretch out the content a little bit more. We'd been doing them in about 5 to 6 weeks, sometimes 7 or 8. And so we decided to spread them out. In other words, you're going to have more time to watch the video lessons, to make them, gather up your supplies, and you don't feel like you have to keep up with the entire club at the pace that I'm going. Okay, so we are opening it up. It's already open now for registration today. You have 1 week to sign up. We're closing the doors on this club next Wednesday night. That's July 24th at midnight. Okay, July 24th at midnight, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. For us, it closes. We will not reopen this club until we're through with the whole thing, and of course, then we will post it at the regular price of $185. So right now, if you sign up this week, you save $88 and it's only $97. For those of you that have been around for a while, we have been holding on to keeping the price the same for years and years and years. Everything else is going up, and we're holding on to the same price point. I don't know for how much longer, but if you get to sign up for this one, know that you're getting it at the price that my clubs have been for years now, okay? All right, so let's see. The first organizer, I'm going to go into it right now, but you'll see when you download this PDF calendar, and you don't need to pay for it to access the calendar. That way, if you want to check it out and see if this is going to work for your schedule, in the description of the club where you go to sign up in our online shop, that link is in the description box on YouTube. It's in the post on Facebook, and then you can always just go to craftygemini.com, go to shop, and you'll see the first item there. It has all the description. You'll see the pictures of all the projects. And there's a link to the course calendar so you can download it right there, print it out. And that way you know exactly when each of the video courses for the 5 projects I'm about to show you are going to be posted to your student account. So we're dripping out the content project by project. The way we spread everything out is basically one of the weeks you get the video courses and the PDF for the project. You have that week to watch them, make one if you want to, kind of work your way through it. The next week, we will meet for a live question and answer session where you will submit questions to me ahead of time so I can prepare for them, and then live I answer student questions. We're going to have 1 live question and answer session per project. So you're going to get 5 live Q&As, and if you can't watch live, it's no big deal. They're all recorded and we embed it in the course so you can watch it on replay mode. And I'll just tell you, if you've never signed up for my classes or clubs, those live Q&As are a gold mine of information, okay? We talk about hacks. I share different little tweaks that you can make with it, different suggestions. Things are kind of a little bit more outside of the scope of the class, but based on student questions and hacks and suggestions, we cover it a little bit more in there. So they're a great additional little bonus that you get that also lives in the class indefinitely, so it never leaves, okay? You can always go back and access it. Hi, Heather. She says, I just signed up. See how much I trust that all your projects are great. She hadn't even seen them. Is that what you're saying? Awesome. Well, thank you, Heather. We definitely appreciate your support. If you've already signed up for the club without even seeing the projects here today on this live, go ahead and let me know in the chat box below so other people can see. All right. So the calendar shows you what day and time each thing is going to be posted. The video lessons in PDF for a new project for one of the 5, and then when the live question and answer sessions are, they kind of bounce around different nights, but most of them are going to be or I think all the live question and answer sessions are at 8 p.m. Eastern time for me. And again, they're all recorded so you can watch them on your own time. We went ahead and put together a master supply list. So once you sign up, you can log in and download and print that. And then there's a freebie video tips that I tend to add in there for my online clubs. And these are all clickable links. The images are clickable as well for different resources that are going to help you get started. So if you're new, but you like what you see and you think you might want to join the club, that's going to be a great place for you to start. There's tips, tricks, working with clear vinyl, zipper tips, all this kind of stuff, which is going to help you. Even if you don't make the things in the videos or practice them, It's going to help you just to have a little bit more of that background knowledge so that you can make these projects with us, okay? So let's get right into the projects. Number one, okay, we have our easy storage pods. Now these look pretty simple. They are, but I needed them to help me get a little bit more organized here. Let me lighten that up because whenever you introduce different fabric colors into the camera, it changes up sometimes. All right. Jennifer says, I'm waiting to see, but I already know I'm signed up. Awesome. I love to hear it. So these little pods are super handy. Look what I put in here. The large clips that I got from Gudrun at GE Quilt Designs, okay, the stripology designer. Look at that. Do you see how little they are, but how much they hold and that they stand up empty? I think these are going to be a game changer for y'all. I know they will be for me personally. Let me tell you why I designed them, and I'll talk a little bit more about the design and the finishing. You're going to be able to crank these out quick. If you do craft fairs, imagine these on your craft table setup with different things inside of them, showing people how they can use them, how they can wrap them up as gifts and things like that. For me, I need to do something with this right side of my table. Y'all can't see it. I tried to keep it out of the camera. It's a hot mess. A hot mess. This is where I have everything. You know when I'm talking about like, oh, and if you have wash away wonder tape, and I just like reach off camera and grab wash away wonder tape magically. Or I talk about having a different fabric marker and I reach out of camera and I grab like 3 different types. I grab my little pointer tool. All that stuff that y'all see me grab on these WIP Wednesday live episodes, it's taking up literally, I want to say almost, it's a quarter. It's literally a quarter of my table. I'm over it. I've organized stuff over here. I have desks that I'm clearing off, shelves. I need to get this handled. And so here's what I'm thinking. These bins, if anybody's interested, shout out to Ollie's, $2.99 for these. If you don't have an Ollie's discount store in your town, sorry, but if you do, check them out because they have good, super sturdy stuff. We've been using these for a while. I've been collecting them because I want to use them here. I need something like this that then I can put a bunch of these in, y'all, and I can have what? Like my choco liners, my markers, a couple different, you know, the generic colors of threads that I constantly am reaching for, right? Because I have larger storage things throughout my craft studio, but the stuff that I need all the time, things that I need to reach for every single time I'm either filming a class or chatting with y'all live, doing a demo for WIP Wednesday, I want to have them here. And I think I can probably fit in 12 of these little storage pods in here. Maybe 9, but I think 12. And we're gonna make them in 2 different sizes. They kind of on camera, they don't look like they're that different, but this is the bigger one, okay? If you've tried to make these little pods before, most of the techniques that you see out there are easy because they have you turning it right side out, like you stitch them pretty sides touching like you would a bag, right? The exterior, the lining, stitch it, leave a hole, flip it right side out. But when you're making them small like this in this size, this is a nightmare to try and sew around because it's also curved. So it's tricky to kind of get it under the presser foot without wrinkling the fabric, stretching out the lining, or messing it up. Ask me how I know. So I decided instead we're going to do a drop-in lining on these. This is going to be a great opportunity for me to teach y'all a little bit more of an intermediate technique on a simple project, okay? If you look at the finishing touches on this in terms of the binding, look how cute this one is with the color that I used. Isn't that cute? Matches the fabric perfectly. This is fold over elastic. If y'all sign up and you download that master supply list, we went ahead and put in all the different things that you need. I will tell you right now, if you have 5/8 of an inch wide fold over elastic and you're planning to join this club for this, 5/8 of an inch is too narrow to comfortably bind this, especially if you're new to this type of binding technique. I recommend 3/4 of an inch. If you can find 1 inch, you're good. You know, but 3/4 of an inch is what I use and what I recommend. Then you're also going to need obviously a sewing machine that can do a zigzag stitch. That's going to be the best and easiest way. I think after y'all make a couple of these, look at the shape, how cute. Taller in the back. That also helps give it a little bit more shape so they can stand up on their own. Zena says 12. Girl, I'm going to pack them in here. 1, look, 2, 3. Yes, ma'am. And I'm going to pack in 4 right there. 3 times 4, 12. Can you imagine this? I'm going to clear off this entire junk that I have here. And then all the leftover stuff that I have 3, 4, 5s of, I'll put them in their bigger container with the rest of its like parts, right? But I think this is going to be super cute. You can put these everywhere. Now I'll tell you something else that I did. I added a loop to this one. So we'll talk all about this in the video course, obviously, with the same fold over elastic makes it super easy and it's a little stretchy. I've actually been using this one for puppy training treats. Some of you that maybe have been following us either on social media like Instagram or Facebook, or you get my email newsletter, y'all know that we recently adopted 2 puppies that my sister's dog, who was a stray husky she found on the street that just, ended up at her house after months and months of roaming the streets, she ended up being pregnant. And so we adopted 2 of the puppies from that litter. So I've been using these as training treats. This is so easy. I just put like a buckle with some webbing around my waist and I slip it through here. I have it right there. You can slip it through your belt buckles if you're, wearing jeans or cargo pants or something like that. For those of you that want to still use it just as an organizer, if you have those boards where you have the hooks on them, just hang it. How cute would that be? To hang all your different little storage pods there and keep your stuff up, use vertical space, and get it off the tables. Okay. Hi, Diana. Thanks. She says, I signed up. I love it. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. So that's the first one, okay? Another thing, what was else was I going to say about this? Yeah, the finishing technique is super quick and easy. If you're giving these would make even cute little gift baskets. You can put other stuff in there, bundle it up, and then tell them, hey, it's a little storage pod. You can use it to store things in. You can put markers, pencils, and things like that as well. On the smaller one, I would recommend it more because the bigger one, the more you have in here that's like at an angle, the more weight you tend to put on one side of it so it can kind of tip it over unless it's fully full, like packed with a bunch of markers, okay? So those are the first ones. And if you've been wanting to learn how to apply fold over elastic, this stuff is great. If you've followed me for a long time, you probably came across a video I did for making elastic hair ties with fold over elastic years and years ago. That I used the 5/8 of an inch wide stuff, but we're using 3/4 of an inch wide fold over elastic here. It's a great technique. Trust me, when you don't feel like dealing with bias binding or quilt binding, I was telling my friend this the other day. I was like, I'll show you the other project. On the last project, I used fold over elastic as well, and it took me 6 minutes. 6 minutes to bind something. Remind me when we get to that. Remind me, hey Vanessa, something about 6 minutes when we get to the 5th project. Okay. Patricia says, could you use bias tape for the binding? Absolutely, you can. Let's see. Yes, Diana says I made one of those, but a bigger one. Yeah, if you make them bigger, you can do the whole flip, turn right side out, but I needed small ones. So I wanted to make them small like this and not have to deal with the headache of trying to get around here at a curve. These worked out really, really good with the fold over elastic. Okay, next one. Let's see. We are moving on to quick. The dimensions on the small one here. 3 by 3.5 by 6 1/4. Super great little size. Oh my gosh, this fly is driving me nuts. That's what happens when you live on a farm and open the doors constantly. Okay. Oh, how cute. Moy Mid says, you hooked me on the first project. I'm signing up. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. But I think you're going to be even more excited to see what else we have in store because that's literally the simplest one. For those of you that are new to my clubs, I always start the 5 projects off in a club with the easiest one to kind of, get new people rolling in. They make the little project. You make several of them and you're like, okay, this is fun. Let me keep going. And then you go on to the second project, which is the Tidy Tote. So here is the storage basket. Anybody notice anything about this? Look at the structure on this thing. Look at the partition in the middle. Look how good that lining looks. Y'all, I got all the tips and tricks, okay? When we have stuff like this, even if you use a thicker, say, fusible fleece, thermolam fleece, something that's like maybe double-sided fusible on the exterior, you get some good shape. That lining, the lining don't ever look like that, okay? But I'm going to show you how to do it. Look at the partition. It's actually stiff. It's not just like a little piece of fabric that's, whatever you put inside of it is going to hold it over. Then we have a one pocket panel across the front that we've stitched down to create 4 little pockets, okay? There's one little bit right here, a bigger one here, and another one here. And then you have 2 handles to tote this around. When I tell you this is about to be, I need to make a bunch of them, by the way, but this could be a project basket, like a project bag. For those of us that knit, crochet, do handwork, English paper piecing, where you have like a bunch of little notions, scissors, your little things, and you take it from like the couch watching TV to your bedroom at night. This is perfect. Put all your notions, your tools in the smaller outside pockets. You can put your ball of yarn in here, some of your tools, whatever you need to be, okay? This would also be so cute in a bathroom. You can put this on the toilet with some toilet paper, some washcloths, right? If you have a guest room and you have somebody staying over, you can put all their little things, a washcloth, some soap, and everything that they might need. Make it in some cute fabrics that match. Anybody recognize this fabric? That Ravel fabric that I bought at QuiltCon. Amazing. So cute. I'm obsessed. The techniques I'm going to show you for this, when you see how we put in this partition, I think you're going to love it because it also can be customized. So like once you see how we put in this partition in here, I think some of you that make tote bags and things like that might start playing around with that technique to kind of design your own interiors for tote bags. Okay, so yes, love it. Francoise says, perfect gift. Yes. And Lynette says, I love that it's divided. Me too. I have a basket similar to this one. It was bigger that we did in another club years ago. I can't remember. But this one with the partition is a game changer. The other one I use for a lot, like my jump ropes and things, and it's just a one big catch-all basket. So it's like you just throw everything in there, and then you got to be fishing through. This, I feel like, makes it a little bit more organized. We have the pockets out here, just so y'all can see kind of how, say we had some little notions and things, you know, maybe you have a highlighter for your pattern, you have a couple different little thingies there, and you can throw a little pouch, one of my little tiny zippered pouches that we've done here with stitch markers and things, throw it in here. How cute would this be as a gift for a teenager or somebody young or new person that's learning how to crochet or knit? You can make them a whole, I do this all the time, not with this one, but now that idea came into mind, make them a whole like, what are those things called that parents would send to kids when we were in college? I never got one. A something basket? Care package. There it goes. So you could do a whole little care package with the supplies like a beginner would need to get started. It could be for sewing, for quilting, for hand embroidery. Can you imagine putting a couple different little embroidery hoops, some different embroidery flosses, the little tools they need, a pack of needles? Now we're getting into like turning this into like a gift basket. But that partition in the middle, y'all, and the shape of this is a game changer. Now, I mentioned at the beginning that these projects are going to be great for using up scraps. And I'm not just talking about fabric scraps, okay? I'm also talking about interfacing and stabilizers. So all these projects can be made out of multiple different types of stabilizers. We're going to use what we have, okay? But here's what I wanted to show you, something to kind of bring to life like the way that I teach and how I get my students to do what they do. Here is similar. This look a hot mess. If this is you, when you make projects like this, like say you watch a YouTube tutorial and you make it and you're just like, I mean, it looks like it's kinda what I was trying to make, but this is like what the designer intended, okay? There are so many things going on with this one, and this, I made it. I make prototypes of the patterns that I'm designing because I need to be able to see, one, how close were the seam allowances in certain intersections? Are my students going to struggle with this? What if they say, oh, I don't need that stabilizer, I'm just going to wing it and do it fabric by itself? How is it going to turn out? So when I'm standing here and in the live question and answer sessions and telling you, in my experience, I would recommend blah, 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 this is where I get that experience from prototyping it and cutting down all the different things that I recommend that's in the pattern and thinking, okay, if a student were to do this, that, and the other, okay, how would it turn out? So when you tell me, hey, I'm just going to use a light fusible batting for the partition, this is what you're going to get. I don't want to use up my cotton woven fusible interfacing on the lining. I think I'll just starch it and press it really good. This is what you're going to get. Okay? So when I tell you, and that you'll see it come across in my video lessons where I'm like, okay, don't skip this step or take your time right here because this is really going to make a difference. This is why. Okay? So I thought this is tossed, you know, but I wanted to show y'all what the difference is because visually I feel like, look at the structure. It even is like more droopy and down. It comes out shorter. It's just like, ugh. This is not what we want. It's not just about reading the text instructions, making the pattern, cutting the pieces to the right size, and putting it together with whatever you have. It's also about listening to my tips and tricks, the techniques, the skills, so that you end up with more successful results, so that you end up with something that resembles more of what I designed the project to be like. Okay? So yes. Zena says, Vanessa said, kind of try to make, listen, I've been there. I was a beginner once too, okay, where you're just like, oh, okay, so we're just doing this, and you just like sewing, you like, oh, I got 3 pleats right here, well, no big deal. Let's just take these puckers and boom, 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 boom. But if you start from the beginning and go step by step with my videos, you're going to get some really good results. But like I always tell y'all, trust the process, okay? Trust it, all right? So anyway, we're not trying to make stuff that looks like this. This is not going to, look at this. That's not it. We want this, okay? So I'll share with you tips, different stabilizers, and I will give y'all suggestions on if you can find this in the country that you live in, like this specific interfacing. We'll try to give you ideas of other ones that you can use, or remember we talk about this sometimes too, is that you can double up. If you have something that's really light, you could double up on the interfacing to just give it a little bit more structure and body so you end up with something that's a little bit more crisp and that you feel, you know, more proud to sell or do whatever. Francoise says we have all been in the club. You know it. Donna says, why not have a pocket panel all the way around? You can do it. You can. I just don't have it because I'm usually going to have it facing me like this. And it's kind of small for me to have full all the way around. Plus, I have like bigger tote bags that I do have pockets all the way around, so I use those for those instances. But if you did want to make this one with the panel all the way around, you're just going to do 2 of this pocket panel. And when we sew it to the front or to the one side here, you would just do it again to the other. No big deal. The only thing that I would say is just be mindful of the added bulk that you're going to get along the side seams. So as long as you have a sewing machine that can handle it and maybe, you know, make sure that you have that 90-14 needle in there, then you should be good to go. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Oh, Sabrina says it could be a project basket for like my Hexie project. Great for dorm rooms. Absolutely. Yes. So things like that where you just got to put some stuff in, take it and go. Boom. I love it. I'm like literally obsessed with this one. I need to make like 6 more. Okay. Next one is number 3. So we're on project number 3. Real quick to recap for anybody that's joining in, we did project number 1, these easy storage pods. Project number 2, the tidy tote. Now we have the zip and slip organizer. This I designed with a very specific need. Projects, patterns, patterns for my different projects, okay? I designed this one to have a clear pocket here so I can see what I'm working with. For those of you that do projects that are a little bit flatter, obviously yarn is not really going to fit in here for a full project bag. But if you have something flatter like some quilt blocks, some Hexie projects, you know, English paper piecing and things that you can kind of slip in here along with pattern instructions, cross stitch, you can put an embroidery hoop in here easily. And that way you can see, you can make so many of these and have them sorted by project so you can just grab them out of a bin. Maybe you have them all lined up standing up. So the zip and slip pocket organizer, it has a zipper pocket here with the clear vinyl. It is designed to fit 8.5 by 11 sheets and also A4. So for those of you not in the US, if you use A4 sheets, this will accommodate A4 as well. The zip is the zippered pocket and the slip is the slip pocket that I put in the back. Okay, so for me, it would be flatter projects, maybe the pattern in the back, or a flatter project that I'm working on, you know, any type of little hand project, some of my amigurumi crochet items, I can throw all the stuff in the front here, but then have the pattern folded up and stashed in the back here. Now, it's not just for our projects, our craft projects, okay? If you need to sort out different documents, you know, kids, dental stuff, boom, put it in one. It's a great way to use up those craft zippers. Minimal supplies because it's just fabric and a zipper, okay? And the interfacing I use for this one is the Durafuse. You don't have to use Durafuse because really, it's not very thick at all. All we're doing is putting in mostly flat items, okay? You have a little bit more give with the clear vinyl pocket, but it's mostly for flat items. And so you can get away with a bunch of different interfacings to make this project. I use Durafuse because it's a crisp, non-woven fusible interfacing that if y'all have used it before in my projects and stuff, y'all know that it's like, it's more like papery. Excuse me. So it works out really great, really great for flat items. It's also the interfacing that we used on that zip pocket notebook that we did in the last bag club. Remember those pockets that we had inside of the binder when it opened up was finished off with Durafuse to give it that crisp feel so that your documents also lie flat in there. I have a bunch of projects, y'all. Over 108, I think. So we're adding 5 more into the mix now with this project. Mari says, great that it will work for A4. Yes, absolutely. Okay. So for keeping documents, flat items, I think embroidery hoop, cross stitch, again, this would be a great little gift to give somebody a starter kit, right? Some pattern instructions. You can do some of the different cross stitch sheets and stuff like that, different designs. Let me see. Sorry, the lighting is probably off too. Okay, we'll try that. Okay, so that is the zip and slip organizer. This measures about 9 1/4 this way by 12 inches tall and just about 1/4 of an inch this way, right? Depending on what you stuff in here. The main thing with this one is going to be the interfacing that you use. You got to be really careful. Some of you might be thinking, oh, it's kind of flat. It's more for documents. I want to add a little bit more plushness to it. You got to be careful because the puffier and loftier your interfacing or stabilizer is, the more it eats into your seam allowance, even if you're using the same seam allowance. Does that make sense? I know some of you have been there before that you're like, oh, that makes sense. If you use a 1/4 inch seam allowance on a flat crisp interfacing and you use the same seam allowance with the same fabrics for the same project and you use a double-sided fusible fleece, the double-sided fusible fleece is going to fit smaller and the seams are going to be thicker and bulkier. There's just more bulk that's rounding out and folding the fabric over in those seams. So you got to be careful with that if you don't want it to eat up too much of your dimensions, both this way and that way. Okay, Genevieve says PDF patterns. I'm assuming you're asking. So quick note here for those that are not familiar with my courses or clubs. The video courses, each one is accompanied by a downloadable PDF. Okay, that's all the written instructions, the supply list, the cut list, and all that stuff. So you get a PDF pattern and video course per each of the 5 projects on the days that we're scheduled to list each one out. So when organizer number 1 is posted, you download the PDF. If there's any template, you can download it and print it as well. And then, print your instructions with that and then watch the video lesson. So they're both, which I think is really helpful, not just for visual learners, but for those of you that learn better from reading and then you maybe can't figure it out, then you can tap into the video and then it makes it a little bit clearer. So it's good to be able to go back and forth from both of those. Joanne says, can you unzip and show us how your papers fit inside? Sure. Almost to the top. There's about 3/4 inch left up here. Okay? And you can see you could still fit in more stuff. I mean, you could put a bunch of different things here. This would make a great teacher's gift, I think, for teachers to keep different things sorted out, different quizzes, stuff like that they have. They can keep it sorted, and with the clear pocket, you can see exactly what's in it. Donna says, can you show how easily the paper comes out and goes in? So you just got to tuck that part back and then bring it up. Okay? So you could always move the zipper up a little bit. I chose to keep it there just because I don't really care too much about the paper itself. I want to be able to see it at a glance. That's why I added the handle to it too, so that I can keep these in my storage bins and cubbies and look at which one I need and pull it out that way. Okay? So you have about 1 inch or so here that needs to be lifted up to tuck everything under and then zip. Okay? Nancy says, would you be able to make it with the clear on both sides? I had to ask. Sure. You're saying like this slip pocket to be clear? Yep. It's going to make it probably a little bit stiffer along the side seams, depending on the gauge of the clear vinyl that you're using. This is the Bayani stuff that we have in our shop. I think we're sold out right now, but it's a little bit stiffer than some of the other stuff that you can get like at Joann's and stuff like that. So it's a great quality because it's super strong. I like this one because when I make things with clear pockets like this and I put in scissors, I don't have to worry about having a cover on the tip of the scissors because it just it's thick enough that it stays down there. It's not so thin that the gauge is like pliable to where things can like poke through easily. I'm sure if you stab the scissors, it would still poke it through, right? It's just vinyl, but I know that I can just throw it in a flat pocket like that and it'll hold. Okay. So a little handle, you don't have to have the handle, if you're putting this in a briefcase, you can do it this way and then pull it out as you need it. But I thought the little handle would be, handy for me as how I plan to use these and kind of stack them nice and flat. So another reason I use the Durafuse, because I don't want it being too bulky, taking up a bunch of space. The whole point is to get organized and pack more of the things that I need to sort in a smaller space. Okay. Yes, Genevieve says I would use it for my PDF patterns. I have my ranunculus pattern printed out and in here just to show y'all that it would fit, like that. You print out your instructions, and this is 15 pages of a PDF in here, okay? So you can put it in there and, keep them sorted out. All right, next one. Oh, good. Donna says, perfect. I'm loving this Q&A. Mary says, I've been encouraged to join even though I thought that I wouldn't this time. That's why I recommend that y'all watch these, the videos, or at least check it out, All right. So that was 4. No, that was 3. So number 4 is my 6-zip fold-up organizer. So here we go. This is it. We have webbing here for the handles. This is totally optional, but I went ahead and added a cam snap to the handles. This is like the easiest closure just to keep everything together, okay? Because you can see I can even hang this up, I can store it in a bin, and I don't have to worry about the whole thing flapping open. Now, I have plenty of space here because obviously all the pockets are empty right now, but if you've been following along with my email newsletters, we were talking about, I was laughing the other day as I was typing up that email because I'm like, I have a lot of little things that need to be sorted, but they need to be together with like items away, like stored away, but still within arm's reach. Like I need them together and far enough but that I can still grab them. And so this is one of the products that I designed just for that, okay? There's 6 zippered pockets, okay, in here, and then they all close together like that. So you could just leave it with the handle if you don't have cam snaps or you don't want to add cam snaps, you don't need to, but I thought adding the cam snap just really closed everything up. Super, super cute, simple, and it's the 6 zip fold-up organizer. This measures 11 inches this way by 8 inches by about 1.5, but you can definitely pack a bunch in here. The more stuff you plan to put in the pockets, maybe the taller you want to put your handles just so you have extra room to accommodate if you're planning to put really bulky stuff. I don't recommend bulky stuff. This is not the type of organizer for super bulky things, but for organizing a lot of different little things in their own compartments, okay, in 6 different pockets, different things that all go together, this is going to be it, okay? Lynette says that's perfect. Household documents. Oh, Janet says I love this one. Jamie says this one is my favorite so far. I love all those zippered pockets. I'm telling you, we have a lot of little things, but if you have kids or grandkids that have a lot of little things too, this is a great one. You can put little activity books with crayons in each one, then put like little blocks and little cars in another. You know what I mean? Like just for something in the car for road trips would be awesome to have because you can sort a bunch of different little things in each one of the 6 pockets. Okay? Amanda says, I never thought of putting cam snaps on the handles. Game changer. I'm telling you, girl, I'm here to share all the ideas with you just to get y'all thinking a little bit differently. You know, things that you can do without feeling like you have to redesign an entire thing, because if you look at this, how else could we put a closure in there? Any way that we put it, if we put them here, then we're not really allowing space to fill the pockets. So you got to allow yourself that flexibility when you have something, a design like this that has so much room that you could potentially use up, okay? So for the way that it's designed and the way that it's built, this is what my brain thought of would be a great way to keep it close together, and that way it's not just flapping open on you every time you go to grab it. But y'all better believe I'm going to be taking this to all the craft classes that I teach the senior citizens in town here. We often have classes where there's so many different little things, whether it's a card making class, we're doing something with iron on vinyl, I have to have a bunch of different weeding tools, a lot of those little burnishing scraper tools, and that way instead of just throwing everything in one, I can have all the weeding tools in one. I can even go in with my Cricut and cut out weeding tools and iron transfer it on here. Those of you that follow me on Facebook and Instagram probably saw that for Prime Day, I posted about my HTV Ront auto heat press that was on a crazy sale. I think today they even dropped it another $10, so if you haven't checked that out. But if y'all got that heat press on any of these sales, this is going to be the project for you to label this. Y'all remember that Wash Me, Wear Me project that we did years ago in another bag club? Similar to that, where you can sort different things. If you have little kids, like younger girls and stuff like that, this could even be for keeping like socks in one, you know, some underwear in another, little tank top, like little bralettes and stuff in another. I mean, it's just an organizer. You could put a bunch of stuff in it, okay? All right. Oh, yeah. So Valerie says, I would love that in clear vinyl so I could see what's in the pockets. You can absolutely do that too. You could also, to save on the vinyl, because you know the vinyl is pricey, you could do pockets, like piece the panels of the pockets that we're making with a chunk of clear in it, right? So that you can kind of see without having to make the whole thing with clear vinyl. Because if you're using a thicker gauge vinyl, it's going to be super, super thick right here for sewing down. And I will tell you what, when vinyl touches vinyl, y'all already know what happens. It sticks. So you're going to be like peeling it off of each other. So that's another option that you can think of, okay? All right. Sabrina says, yes, this would be a little kid's dream bag. Isn't it cute? And you walk around with all your little stuff, your little activities. This could also be for card making if you're going to a crop with some friends or you're just working on a specific project, right? You take the pieces that you need. If you do bullet journaling, all those little travel journals, you can put your pens, the markers in one, some stamps in another, like that, and just take the minimal stuff that you need. You don't have to bring your entire supply, right? And boom, take a tote bag, grab it, you have your cardstock already cut up, and take it and you're good to go. You could do so much. Okay. Yes, Heather says, I was thinking of vinyl windows in the pockets. That's exactly right. So that would be good. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Jamie says she got the heat press on the last sale. It's great. It is, and it's cute too, right? Yeah, she said that. All right, so that was number 4, the 6-zip fold-up organizer. Dun, dun, dun. Are y'all ready for number 5? We saved the best for last. Look at this. Look at this. I had to send my friend Laura a picture. Like when I had done the prototype, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. Okay, let's look at the little footprint of this first. Where's my measuring tape? By the way, I'm sharing the 5 projects that we're going to be making in the new 2024 Crafty Gemini Organizer Club. It's open for registration today. Y'all have from today, Wednesday, whatever today is, July 17th, to next Wednesday, July 24th at midnight to sign up. After that, we close the doors. Okay, right here, we measure about 10.5. This way, about 5.5. Okay, and this way, just about 1.25 inches. Pretty small, compact, baby. And look what we got here. Fold over elastic closure, because you know it's the name of the game. It's easy, easy, okay? Dun, dun, dun. I'm obsessed. I don't know about y'all, but I'm obsessed. So we got 3 clear pockets for those of you that want clear pockets. Here are your windows, okay? 3 different size pockets. Again, we're using up those number 3 craft zippers. Grab whatever color you have in your color bundle. Boom, boom, boom. I put 3 in here. We got fabric lined on the back. And we finished the whole thing off with fold over elastic. This is the one, remember where I said, remind me when we get to the last project about 6 minutes. It took me 6 minutes to bind this whole thing. I don't care how many quilts you've quilted. I'm fast at quilt binding. There is no quilt or any mini quilt like this that I could bind in 6 minutes. Okay, this is your bestest friend. Fold over elastic. Susie says sold. I love it. Hi, Susie. Let's see. Heather said, oh, Heather was talking about the other one. Yeah. So look how much I was able to pack in here. This is fold over elastic, spools of thread, a whole little thing of magic pins, a good handful, a bunch of my plastic clips. I got some fabric glue, my Choco liner, a seam ripper, a wash away wonder tape, a hair marker, a point turning tool, a regular writing pen, a fabric marking pen, a pencil, and I could probably still fit in a couple more thingies. And did y'all see that? The footprint, itty bitty. This takes less space than a regular zip pouch. So for toiletries, if you're traveling, look how much you can pack in here and have it be less. Like my zip pouches, when they're this size, like they go up, you know, they're tall. They have to be able to fit everything this way. So it takes up a good amount of space. But I could fit a bunch of stuff in here, including like my little travel size stuff of like shampoo, hair gel, whatever. Your brushes, you can put them this way, a comb this way, your toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, whatever you need. Boom. Zena says, if you took 6 minutes, that's about 36 minutes for me. Now, the reason I wanted to tell you that it took me 6 minutes is because if I can do it in 6 minutes, if you can make it in 20, that's still fast. Okay? 20 minutes fast to bind this project. Once we quilt it, we make the pockets and everything. Again, those of you that sell at craft fairs and craft bazaars coming up on the holiday season, tell me this is not going to be a bestseller. Legit. Just use a thread that matches with the fold over elastic that you're using. Boom, boom, boom. Your stitching doesn't even have to be perfect. It's zigzag. It's going to catch it no matter what. Okay? So I'm super excited to teach y'all that, my tips and tricks for that technique of finishing stuff off with the fold over elastic. This is the same fold over elastic that I used in the easy storage pod here for the first project. So by the time you do several little pods like this, you're going to be more than ready to when we get to the 5th project to tackle this one. Okay? So boom, boom. Okay? I love that here when I fold it, because of the bulk in here, the vinyl doesn't really stick. Plus, this is the Bianni's vinyl. It's really great quality. It's nice and sturdy. Some of the thinner gauge vinyl especially really, really sticks to itself. Like if there's any moisture or heat in the air, it just is so pliable that it just sticks. So this one you can see it's just there. I can kind of feel a little grab, but it doesn't stick. But then when I go here, it's fabric on here. So it's not vinyl again like we just discussed in the other one if I had just vinyl on vinyl times 6, okay? So boom, check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Tell me that's not going to be y'all's favorite closure from now on. This is a closure that I used years ago. I want to say maybe 12 or 14 years ago on one of my iPad cover courses that I still sell in my online shop. But it's a similar technique using fold over elastic, and I am just obsessed with how much you can pack in this one. Look at that. Such a small footprint, and it holds so much. Yes, Michelle says great for pre-quilted leftovers. that she owns. Absolutely. That's going to be perfect because that's the binding, right? The fold over elastic is finishing it off. Creations PS 91 says, I'm in. Thank you. Yeah, if you're signing up or you're planning to sign up, let us know in the chat box below so we can see everybody else is planning to join us. It's going to be super fun. I'm excited to share with y'all all these different techniques and all these different projects, okay? And then, of course, you know, you are going to submit to me your questions. We can talk about different little hacks and changes. And I will mention right now that for those of you that have signed up already, you may see that you got a little bonus there. If you sign up this week, you're going to get access to another course that's going to help you kind of stay in this idea of organizers, and that is my fabric envelopes course. That is another type of document organizer. So that course is already added into your course. When you sign up for this organizer club, the fabric envelopes class is added automatically to your individual courses on your student account dashboard. Okay, so you can look for it there and check it out. So that's one that you can kind of already be watching the video lesson on. It's just an added bonus, and you can check it out and be working on that if you want to. While we wait this whole week, while we promote the club, we get as many students as possible to join us for some fun, and then we shut the doors. The virtual doors next Wednesday, July 24th at midnight. Tell your friends. If you are getting together monthly with some crafting buddies and y'all want to tackle something like this would be a great club for y'all to join and participate in. Let's see. Oh, Magda's asking for a hardware kit. We don't have one for this with all the stuff because we don't have any of that stuff in stock. A lot of things have been out of stock, including several of the Bozal products. So unfortunately, I don't have, you know, kits to put together for this one. But in the supply list, in the master supply list that I already went ahead and put together, you can check this out. They're all clickable links here on where you can find it, either on Amazon, in our online shop, where I recommend, what the name is. And so you can check this out once you sign up. Download that sewing supply master checklist for the whole club so that you can go through and kind of check off if you have it already in your stash. You know, cotton fabric. Everybody, check that one off. You know, cotton woven fusible interfacing. So I put in there Bozal Fashion Fuse, or you could use Pellon SF101, which is the comparable product. So check it off. And that way, as we wait for all the students who are going to sign up during this week to get in on the sale price at $97, you can be gathering your supplies and just getting ready. Start picking out your fabrics. You know, that's always a super fun part of making new projects. You can pick out your fabrics and just start getting ready, because the first project, those easy storage pods, go live on your student account on next Friday. So on July 26th at noon is when the video course and the PDF for that will be posted. Okay? So yeah, if you enjoyed learning about my new organizer club, if you're going to sign up, give the video a thumbs up. Let us know in the chat box below. Tell your friends. If you have someone who's new to sewing and wants to kind of, you know, learn to make more different types of functional projects and stuff, check it out, because I think we're going to have a lot of fun in this one, okay? Rebecca says, I'm signing up today. Becky out of South Miami. What's up? 305 in the house. Let's see. Zena says, can you use vinyl on the outside for the last project? You could. You absolutely could. It would, I don't know how thick, you'd have to play around with the type of vinyl, because depending on how stiff it is, it may not want to bend as easily here. I guess you could stitch it the same way that we do the quilted thing. In my head, I don't really see any reason why it won't work right now. But again, you know, we'd have to make one, Zena, and see like what issues we run into or anything like that. But I think if it's a medium weight, medium gauge vinyl, I think it should work fine, because you would just bind it the same and stitch everything the same. The only thing is that if it's going to be clear on clear, right, clear on the outside and clear on the inside, you're just going to have to be happy with whatever stitch thread color you use to see all the stitches, because all you're going to see is stitches. All throughout every seam you sew, you're going to see them stitches, okay? Lynette says, I refuse to be left out. I'm signing up. Awesome, Miss Lynette. I can't wait to see the fabrics that you choose to make these projects. They're going to be super, super fun. Chris says, I'm signing up today too. Carla says, I signed up for another adventure. Yay! She says, my 4-H kids are going to have fun. Awesome. Susie's in. Janice is in. Roxanne says she's signing up right now. Sherry's in. Grace says, I'm in, Vanessa. I love it. Thank y'all so, so much. We definitely appreciate y'all's continued support. Some of y'all have been with me for over 13, 14, 15 years, y'all. This will be the 15th year that I've been posting videos on YouTube, and we have been doing these classes and clubs since 2014. So a whole decade. So thank you to everybody out there who continues to watch my videos, sign up for our courses, sign up for our clubs like this. You guys make it so, so, so much fun to do. And I hope that some of y'all that are new to my classes and clubs will also join us for for some fun and go on this new adventure. All right? Thanks everybody for tuning in today. Thank you for the great questions. I hope to see y'all in the club, and I'll be sending out some more emails with information because you might be getting a few more little bonuses in there if you sign up this week. So definitely stay tuned to your inbox. And if you're not already subscribed to our email newsletter, just head on over to craftygemini.com. You can click on email sign up and add yourself there so you don't miss out on anything we have going on here. That's the best way to stay in the loop. All right. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week and start gathering up your supplies. The sewing starts soon. Bye, everybody.